Hi, welcome back to my channel, Serving Supernatural. This video, I want to stray away from the restaurant just because, yes, there is more that keeps happening in the restaurant, but I feel like it's building up to something, and I'm kind of catching on to maybe what's going on. I feel like it's a whole nother video in itself, and that I need to wait to have all the details and give all that content for you guys. So hold off on the restaurant for now. More to come. So let's get into kind of my background. Now, as I said, my mom's house is haunted. I grew up with ghosts, so I wanted to give you guys those stories. I have a first memory as for ghosts. My first encounter with ghosts, I was a child, like a child. I remember I was in my own bed, maybe like 4 or 5 years old. I was asleep and I awoke to a man standing over my bed. It was like something out of a movie. It was a transparent man. He was almost reflecting colors, but he was obviously transparent. Now, he seemed like an older gentleman. He was kind of like leaning over me, trying to tell me something. Now, I did not hear anything out of his mouth. He did not speak. It was like he was like mouthing something to me. Now, okay, I'm gonna side note right now because as I'm telling this story, there's like something clicking across my room and it's a little weird and I've never heard that before. So maybe this man is still with us. I just remember that. I do remember physically sitting up in my bed and him disappearing. Then I was just like not really sure how to process that. And as a child, it's hard to distinguish like dreams obviously from real life, but I could like physically feel myself in my bed and like I could like look around the room because I did like look around the room to see if this man was still in my bedroom. I don't know, that has always stuck with me. Even for being that young, that memory has always stuck with me. Ever since then, weird things have happened in my mom's house. It's like noises, but noises that are like so weird you can't explain. And I'm not the only one that has heard these. It sounds like knocking on the roof, but like there's somebody walking up there, but there's like just a little crawl space and nobody on my roof. Knocking on the walls, yeah, house settling noises, but also like you would hear like footsteps down the hall when you know you're the only one home. You would hear it would sound like a bowling ball or like something being dragged down the hall. It was very unexplainable. And it continues from like my childhood to teenage years to something that like my parents and my sister who lives in the house now still experiences. So it's kind of hard to explain. I guess that kind of continued my spark of interest in like the paranormal. Now, as a child, I kind of got into trouble when it came to ghost stories. Like in school, I would like say things that were kind of scary, talk about death nonchalantly. Bloody Mary, you know? I did that one time. I was in elementary school and I was like, I thought I was like cool. Told my friends that I was going to do it. And I went into the bathroom, the main public bathroom for all the students. And I was the only one in there. I shut the whole door to the whole bathroom, shut it, turned off the lights, did the thing, you know. I did come out with a scratch on my arm. Not sure if that happened beforehand, but I did point it out to the students after I got out. and all the kids got scared and I got in trouble and they threatened to suspend me. Keep in mind, I'm like 3rd grade. I don't know what's wrong with me. Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I was into as a kid. I was kind of morbid. There was a car accident that happened outside of my school, and the person in the vehicle did die, and I could swear that like that spirit lived at my school. And I would like talk about that with my like peers, and again, it got me in trouble. So cut to me telling these ghost stories at my work, and my managers being like, can you not talk about that kind of stuff, because it's kind of freaking us all out. So I'll tell you guys. I even experienced something the other day. I went to go visit. My sister lives there. My nephew lives there. So I went to go say hi. It was kind of late at night, so I just showed up and was like, hey, what's going on? My dad was asleep already, so I didn't get to see him, but my mom and my sister were awake. So I go and I say hi, and I see a little shadow go by in the hallway at the end of the living room. And my natural instinct is my mom's dog. And so sure enough, I was like, if she heard me, she would come say hi. So I was like, hello. And I went to go chase after her and say hi to her. So when I went into the hall to find no dog and actually nobody, I was kind of confused. So my mom is like, what are you doing? What are you chasing? And I was like, Winnie, that's my mom's dog. It's like, Winnie, I just saw her go by. Like, I swear I just saw her go by. And she's like, no, she's locked in the bedroom with your dad. She went to bed with him. Everybody in the house, besides my dad and this dog, are in the living room with me and my mom. Me, my mom, my sister, my nephew in the living room. My dad, the dog in the bedroom. And I just saw something go by in the hall. Large too, not like rat size, like big chunky wiener dog size go by. Weird. And that is also weird because I remember spending the night out on the couch in the living room back when I was young and seeing a black cat go by in my living room, which is weird because we had a black cat at some point and it died. Outside of the house, it got hit by a car. So in my head, I was like, did I just see the ghost of my cat? So growing up in my mom's house, we never moved. That's the house I lived in my whole life until I moved with my boyfriend. So experiences happened all the time, no matter what room I was in. But it seemed to, as I moved rooms, to get stronger. Once I was finally in the last room that I was in, it seemed like the experiences skyrocketed. Like that particular room, something about it, it was just like weird. Okay. Weird thing about my mom's house, dead zone. You cannot get service anywhere in this freaking house. And it's like not in the middle of the nowhere. It's right next to like a shopping center, right in the heart, the center of a city. Like there's tons of other houses around us. We can't be the only ones, but like we are. You just can't. Like you can't text, you can't get like internet signal. Her Wi-Fi sucks. Like everything about the interaction of that house energy wise sucks. And like you can't make a phone call go like into the bedroom that I'm talking about. You can't make the call go into the bedroom without it cutting out. This bedroom has a very weird vibe to it. Every night something weird would happen. And I think the main thing is my bed would shake. I live in California, so every time my bed started to like shake, I'm like, earthquake! But like it was never an earthquake. And like many times I can count that I would like go out to my parents and be like, did you feel that? And they're like, what? I would like sit there and try and like think to myself, maybe it's like my heartbeat slowly rocking my bed. But like, is that possible? Like, is that possible? No, I don't think it is. It would constantly happen, like every night. And I would like just be laying in my bed and just start to shake, just like slightly. Then it escalated from there. Before I get into this, I know what you're going to say. Sleep paralysis. Yes, I know what that is. I'm sure I have experienced it at some point. I don't know that I can count all of these down to that. So I would wake up to like something like tapping me. Wake up. Wake up. And this would happen on multiple occasions. I would be wide awake. Like, it would wake me up, I would be wide awake, and it would just be on my arm, on my leg, like over here on my hip. It was weird. It wouldn't be until like I like actually got up and acknowledged it to where it would stop. Muscle spasms, I don't know. Anyway, other things that have happened to me in this bedroom are I'll wake up in the middle of the night, and I kid you not. Okay, now these are the things that are gonna make me seem crazy. My closet. Now, I now have a really weird thing about my closet being open because of this, but if I would leave my closet open, the things that I do have hanging in there, which is not many, would like slowly get pulled out and let go, and they would fall back. I would wake up in the middle of the night to look at my closet, and they would be slowly coming out, and they would fall back. Same thing with my drawers. My drawers would like slowly open and slowly close. Slowly open, and I would wake up to this, and it wouldn't be until I sat up and acknowledged it that it would stop. Again, sleep paralysis, I get it. I know that that's a thing. But that's really specific and a really like weird thing to visualize. I would wake up in this bedroom, and in the corner there would be a big black mass. Only in the corner. Only in the corner. Not at the foot of my bed, not like anywhere else, but like in this corner, this corner, this corner. I don't know, but it would just huge, almost like taking up like a good majority of the wall. And I would wake up, see this, and again, it wasn't until I sat up to acknowledge it is when everything would disappear. I know that's like a really big sign of sleep paralysis is dark shadow figure of some sort. And agreed, maybe that's what it was. Now, the thing that makes me question it, I have slept over at other friends' houses. I've slept at my cousins' houses. I've since then moved out and have not once ever experienced sleep paralysis. Ever. Outside of that house. So what is it? If it is sleep paralysis, what is it about that house that makes me like that? I don't know, just something to think about. I have two sisters, and they both have experienced similar things. Even as adults, they have lived in the house with my parents and like have experienced the bed shaking, not just in that bedroom, in other bedrooms as well. So I don't know, maybe I live like on the verge of like a tectonic plate. But my whole family has seen shadow figures, including my mom, lights in the house turning on and off. I have had multiple experiences with my friends in the house. One of my best friends, she was my best friend for like 20 years, and she had one experience of sleeping in that bedroom. She felt something like sit on her side of the bed on the corner, like pressed down, and she like literally thought it was me. She turned over to see me like fast asleep, and she never spent the night since. It's creepy. I had one of my best friends move in toward the end of high school, and he had his own room, so he had his own experiences. He would hear those footsteps down the hall. He would hear the bowling ball. He would see the shadows. One time, I used to watch my nephew as like a side job, and we were all in the living room. Me, my best friend, my nephew, and the little wiener dog that my sister had. Broad daylight, watching cartoons. My nephew's coloring, I'm coloring, we're all coloring for some reason. We're all coloring, and a shadow, goes by. We're all looking down, but as soon as that shadow goes by, we all look up. Me, my best friend, my nephew, the dog, all of us. And we all kind of like looked at each other like, that's weird. Couldn't explain it. We don't know what that was. Even made the dog question, we don't know. Broad daylight, only people in the house. On that branch of my best friend and my nephew, we went to Laughlin. We went with my whole family. That's what my family does. We do it all the time. I was underage at the time, so I couldn't gamble. So what I did is me and my best friend went. While everybody else went out, we watched my nephew. Fun. We're in the hotel room. Me and my best friend are sitting on the bed. My nephew is over in his like little like pack and play crib thing. And my best friend goes, look. And he like nudges over to my nephew, and there's this big shadow figure standing over his like crib thing. And as soon as I like went to turn on the light, it disappeared. Two witnesses. Completely freaked out at that point. I was like, moving the little crib thing closer to me. Yeah, it was definitely weird. We're not even in the same state as this house anymore. So that's when it kind of was like, maybe I'm haunted. Maybe it's not just my house, but we don't think about that kind of stuff anymore because we're very into like protection. Okay, just a weird thing that happened, especially for it to happen in such a random place like a hotel room in Laughlin. Yeah, it was weird. But multiple experiences is what I'm talking about. Experiences where my best friend and I are up late watching TV and we see a shadow go by in the hallway when it's only my parents like asleep in the house, so that's definitely not possible. One time we were sitting watching TV. There's a big window behind us, and it's my backyard. And we're sitting there watching TV, and all of a sudden we hear this little from right behind us, like literally like right in between us. Now keep in mind we had just come back inside from out there. So we were like, that's weird. And it is very late at night. My mom lives in like a very populated area, Main Street, like not in the wilderness or anything. It's an elevated window. There's nothing below it. So like if it were like a dog or something, how did it get up there? Long story short, neither of us had the balls to turn around and see what it was. So here, next on Unsolved Mysteries, little tapping noise, because that still gives me anxiety to this day. I still don't know what that was. But it's definitely in like, it was in this like snowball effect of ghost activity that was happening in my mom's house at the time. So, and multiple witnesses, so it makes me feel less crazy to know that my best friend experienced these things too. My parents, that was some convincing. They never wanted to admit that we had anything in the house at first, especially my dad. And my dad, it's only until recent where he was like, okay, something's weird. 26 years in that house, and he's now coming around to the fact that maybe there's a ghost. The rest of my family believes it. So hopefully, video to come I'll stay maybe a night or two because I feel like you kind of need that overnight stays to get really good evidence. And I really think I'll get something awesome because there's definitely something there. No, I don't know the history of the house. My parents always used to make up funny things and say like, oh yeah, somebody died in that back bedroom. Somebody died in your bedroom. So who knows what's real and what's not. I do know that multiple people in the houses around us have died. And recently, my really good long neighbor, he just recently passed away. I don't know if his spirit is still around. Not really sure if there's a reason for it to be haunted. Does anything have a reason to be haunted, really? Can ghosts pick and choose where they stay and where they roam? Not really sure. Here to find out, though. My mom's house it's a crazy one. I get really weird vibes all the time. It's one of those things where you can't go from the kitchen to your bedroom without feeling like something's chasing you. I felt like that my whole life, even as an adult. Yes, I am an adult now. And when I sleep there to like house sit for my parents, like it's creepy. And it will forever be creepy for no reason. So for my mom's house, I would say like those are like the significant activities that have happened. I'm sure more to come, and I'm sure a bunch that I've missed because I have a really bad memory. But I'm sure my family will be like, you forgot this one, you forgot this one. So more to come when they come. I will stay the night and I will film that for you guys because I really want something to happen, and I know it will. There's some weird energy there. Also, my sister just moved back in there, and so I'm sure she has stories to tell and stories to come. We'll see. She wanted to cleanse the place. I don't know if she did. She better not have because I told her not to. Unfortunately, I don't experience paranormal things as much as I used to, like on a regular basis, like living in my mom's house. When trying to choose a new house to rent, that was on my like, okay, must be built before 1950. I don't know, I'm weird like that. I feel like the older the house is, the more it's gonna come with like a history, and the more chances you have of maybe there being something interesting. I actually tried to rent a house next to a cemetery just to see, like, I don't know, like, is it gonna be something crazy? Is it gonna be like poltergeist? But didn't get that house. I did get a really old house though, and it is like major spooky vibes. I love it here. And no ghosts yet. We'll just keep that at the workplace. Who knows? Who knows what will happen? I do plan on visiting some new places too, especially locally here in my city. There's some creepy places. It's a very old city, so what a better place to start than my hometown and giving you guys some kind of incredibly scary insight into some weird places in this very large, very crazy city. More to come. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you would like to see every time something scary happens to me, and I will scare you in the next video.